What is going on, my friends? Welcome to Mountain Motorsports in Roswell, and yes, that is a 2015 R1M model. So a long time ago I did a 2015 R1 first ride, and this is the upgraded M model. This is not a Mountain Motorsports bike. This is again a buddy of mine, 650 Ebe. Link in the description to go check out his channel. He's the one that let me borrow his H2 to do a first ride on. If you haven't checked that video out, highly recommend it down below. And now I'm getting to try out his 2015 R1M. It is customized to hell. Without further ado, so I can get on this thing and enjoy the absolute shit out of it, let's get it going. Oh my gosh. So you are bent over so much. Like, that is something that is very apparent. God, this bike sounds like a monster. Not the Ducati. Yeah, you guys, you are in full race position on this thing. You are leaned as far up as you can possibly be. Like, it's only a little bit more and I'm tucked in over the tank. So the big difference between the R1 and the R1M is the suspension. The R1 has a couple more, oh my goodness. The R1 has a couple more tech things inside of it, like little tech goodies, and it has a semi-active suspension, meaning that supposedly it will change the suspension characteristics as you are riding. This bike, I remember back in the day, was the first bike that I really got to check out a kind of full color dash, and I was blown away back in the day. You guys can see when we're waiting on this red light, the dash has got a ton of information on it, and when I pull in the front brake, I can actually see how much I'm giving, how much braking I'm giving. So you can see that I'm giving it about half breakage right now. It's absolutely insane. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm in a damn video game. And once we get going, if you guys watch this dash, it'll tell me how much force I'm giving the front versus the rear. So when I'm throttling up, you'll see a little force meter going down telling me I'm putting more force to the rear wheel. And then similar when I'm braking, you'll see more force to the front. You guys can see it kind of blipped right there. This bike's got measurement in it to tell you like your lean angle and all this kind of stuff. It's crazy what these bikes have. Eve has also told me that this thing has got a quick shifter which auto blips up and down, which I've already done that on the H2 of his, and it is an insane modification. I absolutely loved it. Gonna have to look into that on the on my Daytona, because it makes riding magical. All right. Goodness. Another big thing with this R1 is it's super light. All of like the main modifications to this bike has been to maximize weight reduction. So the gas tank weighs like barely a pound, or a little over a pound, something like that. The wheels, I heard them talking, were made of, like, they're filled with air, like compressed air, to save space and like weight and all this kind of stuff. It's absolutely insane. You guys can hear that it sounds crazy. And that's the Brock suspension that it has on it. All right, you guys can see that little meter. As you can see, the dash, it tells you everything you need to know, but I feel like it has a little bit too much information. I wish personally I could switch between different looking dashes. Kind of like on the Triumph Street Triple that I've got currently. You can switch the dash that you have, and it gives you different information based on the mode you're in. That, I think, would be super helpful in this bike. Or maybe, you know, it adjusts based on the mode. So the bike comes with 4 modes. It's got A, B, C, D, and then inside of each mode you can customize the settings. So you got power, traction control, and slide control, and just all this crazy shit. And yes, I said slide control. the bike can dictate how much you slide. Hopefully we won't be using any slide control today. I will say I really like the engine braking on this bike. It's strong enough to work, but it's not obtrusive. You know, it doesn't push you forward erratically. You know, I'm a really big fan of engine braking and using that as a main way of slowing you down while riding. And when you have engine braking that's too strong, you end up not really being able to use it because it's too powerful. This one I really like so far. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in C mode so we can try that out and see the difference. I also want to know if you can change modes on the go. Clutch feels really good. I think that's a stock clutch actually. Sounds phenomenal. That bike looked cool. Brakes feel good. I'm gonna make an assessment that they're Brembos. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of surprised these brakes don't bite harder. I would kind of expect that in a bike like this, but that's a good thing. If you know, this is a track focused motorcycle. It's got all the tech in it is to help you ride faster on the track, and having brakes be too strong can help, that can lock shit up. So it's probably helpful to have slightly less bitey brakes. And guys, before we get too far into this video, I do want to remind you guys that first rides are meant for daily use. It's like a daily reuse review first ride. This is a track focused motorcycle, so the bike is not really designed for, you know, what we're doing today. We're riding around town. It's made to be on a track and just eat it alive. And it, from what I hear, it does an amazing job with that. I just want to keep that in mind. I know a lot of people get a little confused thinking first rides are supposed to be a full-on review, and they're really, you know, here to let you guys know what it's like riding it for the first time. You are so high up on this bike. You can see there's SUVs next to me, and my head is actually higher than they are. So you are high up on this thing. I imagine when you're in a turn, it'll feel nice to be up on the bike as you'll have that weight behind you turning in. We'll pop it into B mode. So you can see B mode, our power's now at 2, traction controls at 1, and SCS, which I assume is slide controls, now at 1. I don't know if 650E has changed these modes at all, but it's there. I am pretty happy at the ease of changing the modes. You know, with so many things you can do, it's easy to get confused with what you want to do, but they've made it really well, so I'm impressed with old Yamaha. Kind of playing around with the bike back and forth, you can really tell how light this thing is. Oh my god. There's something about the way a cross-plane engine feels that it feels, you feel like a muscle car. You feel like you're riding a muscle bike. And this bike is so thin, it doesn't feel like it. You know, this bike reminds me of the way a 250 feels, or a 300, you know, a smaller bike. It does not at all feel like a liter bike, which when you put, what, close to 190 horsepower in a bike that feels like a 250, like, that's a situation that you can get in a lot of trouble. Oh my god, I can feel why you're so up tall. Like, this bike is so made for a track, man. Alright, so watch this downward meter right there for acceleration forward. And it's only the G's that's pushing me back that it's measuring. You can see we're kind of going flat. I'm going to wait till we're over this hill to gas it a little bit. That way we won't run into a cop. This windscreen is ridiculous. I can barely feel any wind. It's throwing it all over my head. Absolutely phenomenal. Sitting upright, I can finally feel the wind. It's only at the top of my head though. I cannot believe how much wind that windscreen is blocking. Alright, the cop is a little farther back there. This is such a bad idea, but a motorcycle that can haul ass. Woohoo! Okie dokie. Alright, I can confirm that the 2015 R1M is not slow. Woo! I will say, in B mode, that felt phenomenal. It felt like it was controllable. Holy cow. Oh gosh. Okay, now I need to get off this exit before that cop gets a little annoyed with me and comes after me, because this is a little bit louder of a motorcycle. Woohoo! Oh goodness. Okay, let's get the hell off of this highway. Oh wait, it's got auto blip. Oh, it's amazing. Look. Oh, it's awesome. God almighty. Auto blipping changes my life. Uh-oh, until it puts me in neutral. Got it, figured it out, fixed it. Y'all, this bike. Woo! It makes you want to ride fast so bad. The only thing I wish is it was a little lower, because I don't like not being able to flat foot. Oh god. I can flat foot my freaking R6. Can't flat foot this thing though. Not a huge fan of that. My goodness, man. Oh my gosh. You know, something I appreciate about this bike is, with all the power you get in it, you can still control it. And it's rare to have a bike that has over 190 horsepower that you can actually control. It makes me realize how much of a track machine this is, because yeah, it's crazy powerful, but you can control it. And if you can't, you can change the modes and make it to where you can control it. It's really just a beautiful machine that is just artfully put together. And the amount of power versus the weight and the size, that is just unmatched, man. Auto blip, oh my god, I love you. Oh my Christ. Alright, attack position, let's go. If those are stock levers, the clutch probably feels like the best clutch I've felt that's stock. Like, that's what you get aftermarket clutch levers for, to feel like, to get a clutch that feels like that. So the fact that that stock is phenomenal. Shifting is buttery smooth. Can't even feel it with that quick shifter. As far as the seat goes, it's pretty thin. It seems like a pretty thin seat. It's not crazy comfortable, but it's not crazy uncomfortable. It's kind of, you know, it's what you expect for a sport bike. You don't expect to have this leisurely soft seat. You know, the seat, just like the body position, it's got you ready to like get into a turn and ride some technical shit. Like, that's what this bike's about. It's not about like, oh my god, it's so comfortable, I just love riding in it. No, you get on this thing, you're like, alright dude, shit's about to go down and quick. Oh, yes, God. Yeah, that's totally why you're sitting up so high. They sit you up high, like you're up here, bike's down here, so that when you lean over, man, that top weighted body of yours is just pushing you through a turn. It makes you feel so confident. Oh, auto blip up and down, literally my favorite thing in the world at this current moment. Now, if you get a Brock's exhaust on this thing, I highly recommend earplugs when you ride, because my goodness gracious, just flex back and forth. My god, man. The van's like, I don't want nothing to do with that. I do though. Oh, so good. Oh my god, I just realized that my GoPro Hero session's on the side of the road. Oh my goodness. That is what hit my freaking hand. Oh no. Oh shit, that's not good at all. I'm gonna have to go find it. Gonna have to find it. Dude, I didn't even notice. Oh my goodness. Alright, we'll continue this and then we'll get it afterwards. So guys, I apologize, the hero session shot it's no longer, the session fell off the bike. I'm gonna hope it's still on the highway. It's in a metal housing, so it might be okay. We're gonna have to find out. So that's where that shot is. It's no longer available. I don't know if I've ridden a bike that feels this good leaned over, like, period, end of story. It's almost like the bike feels better leaned over than it does when you're going in a straight line. It's insane, man. It's absolutely insane. It is interesting when you're throttling up on this bike, it is a little vibrating. Not anything really bad, and it's only when you give it like some serious acceleration. It's almost like it's wagging its tail being like, I'm about to go! Kind of gives me that feeling. Like a really excited puppy. And I'm not really mad about it, gotta be honest. I know one thing, riding around in this thing, I know for a fact, by the time I got done riding for a while, my back would be killing me. It would be rough, man. I wouldn't be able to do it. You are so leaned over. Like, you're even riding casual, you're in like an attack position ready to go really fast. It's insane. I do have to say, I love how the power is delivered. I've been in B mode for a minute, and you know, if you give it some throttle, it'll go and it'll throw you back, but you're able to control a 190 horsepower, you know, monster of a motorcycle as long as you have like a slight throttle hand and you're controlling what you do. You know, the engine braking doesn't throw you forward, and if you give it the right amount of gas, it won't throw you back. It'll do it in a controlled manner. I really like that a lot. That's one thing that the H2 was just like, when I rode that thing around and you gave it throttle, you were just like, shoot. But this thing, way more controllable. Yeah, I'm standing by that comment about the brakes, man. They're not very grabby. They don't grab you, and like, I'm sure they work great, but you know, like in a track situation. But like, I mean, I don't know, I kind of expected the brakes to kind of throw me forward a little bit, or at least more than they currently are. Just my personal opinion though. Alright, ladies and gents, let us check out the 2015 Yamaha R1M. You guys can see there's a big like black and silver kind of paint job going on. We've got Öhlins in the front, semi-active suspension, so it's going to adjust to what I'm doing on the road. We got carbon fiber all over the place, silver all over the place. This bike looks mean, man. I personally think that the R6 looks better, but I know for a fact the R6 looks like it does because the R1 was, you know, the new one. So these are not stock. These are aftermarket rims that 650E put on it. He has done so much to these motorcycles, man, and made them just dreams of a bike. Absolute dream. Normally I like the black engines, but I gotta be honest, when silver matches so much of your stuff, I'm okay with having a silver engine. You can see that headlight area. After seeing the R6, you can see the R1 has a really kind of flat area in the front, way much more than the R6. But this one's made of carbon fiber. Such a nice bike, man. You can even see that it's got measurement units and stuff. More stuff than I'll ever be able to understand. Alright guys, so like every motorcycle I do a first ride on. I do a blog post about the bike where I take some really nice photos, and I do an audio check of the bike where I bring out a nice microphone. This is another one of those bikes that it's not going to sound good on a GoPro. Just is what it is. But I highly recommend you checking out that blog post to actually hear at least a little bit better of what the bike sounds like. There will be a link in the description if you want to check that out. But for now, we're going to listen to it on the little GoPro. Look at that. Oh, okay. Here we go. 2015 R1M. Monstrous, man. Monstrous. Let's finish this thing up, guys. So guys, to sum up the 2015 R1M, I can say it in one descriptive name. This bike is a track weapon. You're sitting high up, the seat's thin and not too soft, not too hard. It is made to dominate on a track. Because of that, it's not going to be the most amazing road bike, but that's because it is so focused on its job of being a dope track monster. That is the best way I can describe this. It's fast as hell. It has all types of electronics to enable you to go around a track as fast as you possibly can. And honestly, riding it, you can feel that. You can feel the power. You can feel the weight. Like, it's just a phenomenal, phenomenal bike. If you have the money to get something like this to do track days with, you would be insane to not do so. Insane. Probably the best bike out there on the market right now for your money if you're going to do track days with it. So on my 5-point helmet scale, man, this, just like the H2, these things are so far out there. I'm just giving them 5s because they deserve nothing less than that. These bikes are like engineering marvels, and I would feel like a terrible rider if I gave it anything less than a 5 helmet rating. So this totally gets a 5 helmet rating. As far as who I recommend this bike for, man, it is hardcore gonna be the track guy, or you got to be in the mountains or the technical riding all the time to really take advantage of what this bike gives you and has for you, you know? I don't recommend a bike like this for your daily rider. I don't recommend this bike for a commuter. It's just hyper focused on getting you around a track or around a mountain or a technical road as fast as it possibly can, and it does that really well. So that's, you know, that's what I recommend it for. I will say that the gearbox has been really solid. Like, there's no like wondering what gear I'm in. Like, when I'm in first, I know I go to first when I want to be in first, and it shifts. I really like the way it shifts, is basically what I'm saying. And guys, before I head out of here, I have to do a massive shout out to 650 Ebe. He is the guy that is letting me borrow not only this bike, but also his Kawasaki H2. If you haven't seen that video, links will be in the description. He's another YouTuber that makes videos just like me. I highly recommend you guys going and checking him out if you want to see more videos of this R1M and that Kawasaki H2. Absolutely gentleman of a man, and obviously so freaking nice to let me borrow these bikes, which are 2 of the most requested bikes that you guys have asked for me to ride. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't get to try these bikes out. So massive shout out to him. His information and links will be in the description. And guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. This has been the Chaseontwowheels first ride of the 2015 Yamaha R1M. I appreciate you guys watching at this point in the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. It always helps out the videos and the channel. And guys, I'll see you on the next one. You guys go out there and ride safe. Later.